What's going on, family?
Hi.
In today's video, we're gonna talk about modeling success. Again, this is gonna be a kind of like a workshop video, so definitely if you want, take some notes. Maybe my wife disagrees with me a little bit because she says it might throw you off, but perhaps you wanna pause the video if you'd like, or you could wait until the end to answer some of the questions that we try to throw at you. Because remember, all of our videos aren't just for you to learn, but it's for you to actually take action in your life and upgrade where you are and close the gap from where you are to where you want to be. So in today's video, we want to talk about modeling success. What is it that you want most in life? It's a pretty thought-provoking question, right? I think it all depends. When you were 11 years old, what did you want most? You just wanted to go play outside, hang out with your friend. When you were 15, what did you want most? Normally, for most of us, it's independence. I just want to be alone. Don't tell me what to do. I live my own life, right? And when you were 20, what did you want most? As time goes on, sometimes what we want most seems to change. But at this present moment in your life, not 5 years, 10 years, what do you want, so much later, but what do you want most in your life right now? Do you want a better body? Do you want a better mind so you can get more control over your emotions? Do you want more money financially? Do you want more financial stability, I should say? Do you want to find a husband or a wife? Do you want to improve the current relationship that you do have? Do you want, what are some examples of what they could want in life?
You just said a lot of them.
While I'm naming them, you think of some. But do you want more energy, more love in your life, more passion? Do you want more confidence? These are definitely a lot of things that, hey, Ryan and I want all of them, all of the above. But whatever you want in your life, it's so important for you to get clear on what is most important to you right now. Of course, maybe we all want more money or more finances, more spirituality, a better relationship with Jehovah, do more in the congregation. We all want all these things, but there's normally something that you focus on day in and day out. My wife and I, we try to focus on our bodies, we try to focus on our life. But when it comes to, my wife tells me this all the time, whatever you achieve most, it's normally what you focus on the most. My wife says, Ryan, when you focus on so many different things, you seem to not get so much done, right? Or nothing done, right? So if I'm working and I'm focusing on this and this and that, sometimes my mind's in another place. And so it's so important for you to get clear on what is most important to you in your life. And maybe you want all of those things. Well, great. But
sometimes if you work on one thing, the other things will fall into place.
Beautiful.
So you just have to focus on what you want most. And maybe it'll be, be more confident.
Yeah.
So if you want that, maybe working on your body would be first, and then your confidence boost up. So, it all falls into place.
Right. 100%. So even the sequence of what you think is most important in your life can have a huge impact. That's beautiful. On the other things that you want most in your life. So that I think that's a perfect example, because if you want a better marriage, a better workplace, you want a better life, one of the best things that you need to focus on is your health and vitality. Vitality meaning how you feel, the energy, how you wake up, how you go to bed, how you feel throughout the day. Do you constantly need, shots of energy? Do you constantly need all these drinks and stuff like that? Or can you just go through the day without getting any of that? Because that's awesome. If you fix your body, what does it stumble into? Well, it definitely stumbles into your confidence, because you're like, hey man, I'm starting to feel a little bit better about myself. Well, hey, maybe I don't look the best physically yet, and it's always yet. Maybe I don't look the best physically yet, but I did wake up in the morning, or I did go to the gym today. I feel pretty good about myself.
Energized.
Right.
And then let's say that one of your other goals, or what you want most, is to have a better job or have more money.
Right.
Earn more money.
Right.
Then you have the confidence to actually go up to your boss or whatever it is. I want a raise or whatever it is. Or you have the confidence to go and pursue that job that you really want, that pays more or whatever it is. So it all has to do with, they intertwine with one another. So, but if you start with one, it might just
fall into place. Have that snowball effect. And that's exactly what we're saying. If you have more energy, And you really think about it, passion just means energy. So it's really just another word. Sometimes I separate it, or my wife does, because we feel, just to give people a little bit more clarity. But when we say passion, we're really just saying what gives you energy, right? And if you have more energy because you went to the gym, because you're eating right, you're taking care of your body, and you're not eating all these junk foods and all this crazy stuff. Look, if you eat something and it doesn't immediately make you feel better, then it's probably something you maybe shouldn't eat. And hey, I'm not saying you should never eat those foods. We do sometimes, and but we understand, hey baby, if you eat that falafel, you're gonna get super tired, right? If you eat that high starchy food or all those sweets or sugars, you're gonna get super tired. So definitely don't do it before we record, before we go to work, or maybe closer to bedtime, because we wanna get tired. But if you start your morning off with high calorie foods and all these sugars and grains, then you're probably not gonna feel the best. So focus on what you're putting into your body if you want more energy. And then that energy will trickle down into your marriage. If you have more energy in your marriage and you're laughing and you're playing and you're being silly, that's definitely gonna improve your marriage. If you have more energy in your workplace, it's definitely gonna improve your workplace because your productivity is gonna increase. And it all kind of flows and intertwines, like my wife said, together. So focus on the sequence on what you think is most important in your life. And it's probably a great idea, and it's gonna take some thought, and it'll change from week in, week out over time, but probably take 10 things. What are the 10 most important things that you want in life, where if I had all 10 of these, then my life would be complete. And some of them you want them to be a little bit simpler, and some of them you want to be super difficult, because you don't wanna set goals that you can achieve tomorrow. You wanna set goals that you could achieve tomorrow, and it'll also take 5, 10, 20, 30 years if you're still here, right? Well, if we're still here because of the system. But you want to make sure that you have little wins and you have a big goal. You want a small goal and big goals. But in order for you to achieve this kind of success, once you get clear on what you want most, and definitely write that down, you have to realize that, like we said in another video, if you haven't watched it, success leaves clues. So when we talk about modeling success, there's always someone who has what you want. Baby, why is it important for you to study somebody who has what you want most? More spirituality, closer relationship with God, more money, better marriage. They're great at finding, connecting with people. They have lots of friends. Why is it important for someone to study someone who has what they want?
Because if you study them, you'll eventually start doing the little things that they started doing, and you'll eventually have the life that they have, or
right.
Similar to it. You'll get closer to your goal. So it's important to study them, and also, like we mentioned in the video before, and this one too, it also has to do with your peer group.
Right.
It's all connected, because like my husband said, if you want to lose weight, if you want to have energy,
right.
Like what are you doing? Like, are you drinking a lot of caffeinated drinks in the morning, like donuts or whatever it is? And sometimes we hanging around those people that's what they do.
Perfect.
And that's what we're gonna do. Like, oh, let me go to Dunkin', let me go to Starbucks. That's what I'm, like high calorie in the morning,
right.
like foods. And even if you're tired at noon, let me get another high calorie coffee again.
Right.
500 calories, because that's what they all do,
Right.
And sometimes you just have to stop it, and you have to imitate someone else, and you have to model that other person's life. And
right.
It's not going to be easy, because majority of people do what everybody else does.
Right. And majority of the world is not living the life of their dreams. They don't have the body that they deserve. They don't have the money that they deserve. They don't have the spirituality that they deserve. And nobody deserves it, but let's be real, we all deserve to live a better life. God didn't put you here. We're not all here to live a mediocre, average, overweight, no energy filled, no love filled, no passion filled, no beauty filled life. None of us are here to live that kind of life. We're all here to do something special. We're all here to be something special. We're all here to make a difference, to have an impact. But you can't make a difference in the world if you're not making a difference in your own world, right? You can't impact your wife if you can't even impact yourself. It's great that we want to help others. It's great that we want to take care of people in the congregation, encourage one another, and give talks and parts and help. But if you can't help yourself, how in the world could you help someone else? Hey, you should eat this. I can't do it because it's tough, but here's what you should do. We all want to practice what we preach, right? We've been hearing that all our life. But it's one thing to hear it, it's another thing to do it. And one of the best ways for you to achieve the success that you want is find somebody who's already doing it. See, my wife said when we were out in the ministry, well, I'll say were because we have a lot more self-control than we used to, but it was very difficult for us to eat the way we wanted to eat. And recently we became, at the time, we went from not eating dairy and meat to being like a vegetarian or vegan. And we don't press, those beliefs on you whatsoever. That's totally your opinion. We support everyone. But we do recognize that when we made that decision, it was difficult because we were trying to model some people on social media and following these audio programs and reading these books, people who have achieved the success that we want energy-wise and health-wise, and we're modeling them like when we're at work or we're in the car, driving, listening, studying. But when we were with some of the friends in our congregation and we finished preaching, what happened?
We would go out to eat and everything that we ate was fried, French fries, cheeseburger, everything had dairy in it. It was unhealthy, cheap food because it's cheap. It's easier to it's cheap to buy. So you're gonna eat what's unhealthy.
And when you're just starting, what is your self-control level at? 1 through 10. So
you're just starting one.
Like we just became vegan. What's our self-control level at?
Oh, you can't. It's so difficult, especially when everyone's eating around you.
Right. You don't have the confidence and self-control to dive in somewhere. It's like somebody who's just gotten baptized. Yeah, let's go take them to a place, a strip club. Let's go. That's insane. How in the world would they? I just got baptized and I'm struggling, I'm young, and I'm gonna put myself in that kind of environment? Let's take them to a worldly party. Let's take them there and test their faith. Well, it's not saying that they're not strong or they're not faithful, but it's kind of difficult to put yourself in that kind of environment if you're just starting off and you haven't built that kind of that kind of faith or strength under your belt. So if you're watching our videos and you're like, man, the Mount Shoney's, they told me we got to model success. I want to achieve this. I want to take my life to the next level. I'm doing it. I'm committed, Ryan. I'm committed, Monica. This is it. Well, if the next day you put yourself in an environment of people who have extremely lower standards than you, your standards will drop. It's just inevitable. Unless you've been extremely strong in the path that you want to go down, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. If you're just starting off, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to keep up those standards. That's why we say, hey, if you want to go to the gym or you want to take care of your body, probably not a good idea to go to the gym with somebody who likes to go to the gym with you and then says, hey, let's go grab some Taco Bell. Let's go grab some fast food after we finish.
And that's the worst. They put the gym right next to the Wendy's and stuff.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for you to take your life to another level if the people who you're going with aren't holding you to a higher standard than where you're currently living. So it's probably a great idea if you want to change your body, change your health, achieve the success that you want. One of the top, most important things on your list is start studying or hanging around people who have already achieved what you want most. Find them on social media, find them online, read the books, buy the audio programs, find free stuff. Can't afford it? There's plenty of free information out there. Start, consuming our content more regularly. Interact with us, interact with people in your local community. Find people who have the life that you want to live and model it in every shape and area of life. And it doesn't mean, well, Ryan, I found somebody who has the body I want, but they're worldly, so I can't follow them. Well, what are your thoughts on somebody who says something like that? That says, I want to model this person, but they're worldly. So they have the body and the fitness and the food program and all this great stuff, but they also aren't a lover of Jehovah. You have to take.
I don't think that there's anything wrong if you're trying to get a body like theirs. They're not telling you go and do something crazy don't become a Jehovah's Witness.
Right.
I think you also have to be I don't know. I want to be really careful with what I say.
Right.
Not be so oh my gosh, I cannot do that because they're witnesses or whatever.
Right.
They're not telling you anything that goes against Jehovah's laws, and you know, you can follow them if that's what's motivating you to do something about your body and be like eat differently. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but if it's gonna affect you, like
you want to focus on, and it's true, you know, you got to be careful. But at the same time, if you're following somebody for their fitness or for their body or for their fitness lessons or their workout routines, you got to take what you can and leave out what you should, right? So if somebody, you know, they're perhaps their fitness content is clean, so there's no swearing, there's no profanity, you know, they you know, do their best to dress modestly, stuff like that. The workouts are great, the meal plans are awesome, and you're modeling that kind of success because you can't find it locally from a fellow brother or sister. Then you kind of have to take what you can. You can't sit there and say, well, Ryan and Monica, you know, I'd love to upgrade my body, upgrade my finances, upgrade this, but I can't find a single brother or sister that has achieved that yet. So therefore, I can't model anyone's success. No, we don't want you to struggle like that. Find somebody who has achieved it, but you don't have to take everything that they're doing. Don't model every single thing that they're doing, right? So if somebody's a wonderful fitness person, and perhaps they live an immoral life, don't model their immoral life, immoral the good that you can take from them, right?
Yeah, but normally when they're a professional and they're doing things like to promote themselves, they're not gonna go and do something crazy. They're just promoting, you know, what they do as a trainer and what, you know, their meal plan and stuff is more professional. Now, if you go to someone that wants to do that and they have their own, they're trying to do their own brand and they're being a little crazier, then that's different. But when somebody's a professional, usually they don't go to the extreme of being, you know, like using cursing and all that. You know, they want to be professional. They don't want to show that they're like everyone else. Right.
And that's all we're saying, because we don't want you guys to feel stuck as you're watching this video like, great, Ryan, these are things that are most important in my life. And of course, you know, if one of the most important things on your list are draw closer to my creator God, to Jehovah, then yeah, chances are extremely high that you'll be able to find somebody in the Truth, the organization, whether via social media or in your local circuit or even your congregation. But if one of your goals are fitness and energy, maybe there's nobody that you found yet. Who knows? Maybe there is a brother and sister, but maybe there's nobody that you haven't found yet that has the fitness goals that you want. That doesn't mean that, oh, well, Ryan, there's no one there. You see what I'm saying? Hopefully you're understanding exactly the point that we're trying to get across. We don't want you to feel stuck that, Ryan, you said, Monica, you said you need to model success, but I have no one to model. We don't want you to feel that your goal is modelless because there's not a brother or sister.
I think if you really look, there's someone.
Right. There's
plenty of brothers and sisters that I've seen that have their own fitness. They're like coaches and stuff.
Right.
Like recently I just started following a sister that's a coach and she does great. Yeah, I mean, obviously you're not gonna agree with everything she does, but that's her job.
Right.
That's like saying I work with someone and they're not a witness, but you know, I really like the way that they live. Like, what are you gonna do? Not work with them?
Right.
Like you don't have to model every little thing that they do or not become a Jehovah's Witness like they are.
Right.
Just take in the good. Like, you just take in the good. Like with anything else, like you just, you know, it can't be like that too much either because you're jeopardizing yourself too. You're not growing from that. You're not learning from them.
Right.
You're just trying to, it's easier to make an excuse and say, well, no, because no, like he's not a witness, I'm not going to do it. You know, like the point is to grow and be successful in your own way.
They don't have to be perfect. Right? So if you want to be a better speaker, you can study somebody in the truth who perhaps is an awesome speaker, but perhaps he's terrible with his family. He's terrible at counsel because because maybe he's not the best, you know, head to his family because, you know, they're struggling or whatever the case may be. Doesn't mean that you can't learn from him. Or maybe he's terrible at giving counsel, or he's terrible in the ministry. Oh, he's terrible, he's not perfect all around, so therefore I can't study his speaking ability. I can't learn anything from him. We don't want you to get to that point. If you can't find somebody in the truth, try to find somebody in the world that's as clean as you can, but you don't model the things that you're not wanting to model. So don't model how he treats his family if he's an awesome fitness instructor. Look, I don't care what he does with the family, but he's awesome at a fitness instructor. I'm gonna model that. He's awesome with his finances. He's awesome at teaching energy. He's awesome at teaching, or she, or either one, at what to eat. So great. Take what you can on what you can learn from that, and leave out the other stuff.
But like I said before, and I tell you all the time, like, what you focus on is what you're gonna see.
Right.
Like, if you're gonna focus on the fact that he's not a witness and he doesn't serve Jehovah God and he doesn't do what you do, you're gonna find it faster than all his good abilities of being a trainer or a great speaker. You're gonna find what's wrong with him first.
Right.
Because that's what we all do. I do it, he does it, we all do it. So like, if you're gonna focus on that, you're never gonna find someone that's up to your standards, because you're always gonna find something wrong with them. So try to focus on what you wanna like learn from them, the good things, and don't focus on what's wrong, because you're always gonna find something wrong with someone. If you look at yourself, you're gonna find a bunch of things wrong with you too. So we all just do it. Just try to focus on what's right and what you want to learn from them.
Right. Follow their example that you want to follow. Leave out the examples that you don't want to follow. Right. And that's it. And hopefully, friends, we've been going on this rant because my wife and I, when we don't find somebody in our local congregation or somebody in the circuit, somebody on social media that is a brother or sister, I'm not going to say, well, no one in the organization seems to teach, health and fitness, or what to eat or what not to eat. So therefore, we can never learn. We can't read a book on health because it wasn't written by a brother or sister.
Well, we don't know that. A lot of brothers and sisters try to be private about that kind of stuff, because a lot of people look down on you when you start talking about fitness and about your health, and they recommend that you don't.
Right.
But if
and
you
that's
ask,
exactly.
they recommend
don't go around the congregation and say,
saying
eat
what
this,
you did,
eat this, do that.
Your diets and all that, because then people want to say, well, no, I'm sick, and it's because I listened to that sister.
Right.
But if you ask, you might find someone, but they're just trying to keep it on the low, because then people start blaming you because they didn't get results or whatever it is.
Right.
But if you do look, you'll find.
Right.
It's just a lot of them keep it, secretive.
But if there is nothing, there's nothing wrong with modeling success from one portion of somebody's life in the world. There's nothing wrong with that. That's it. Circuit overseers have told me the same thing. Elders have told me the same thing. Plenty of people who are spiritually qualified men have told me, Ryan, there's nothing wrong with that. You want to learn how to become a better writer, you can study a writing course from somebody in the world. You can, there's plenty of people, if you want to learn how to be a doctor, for perfect example, Bethel years ago hired some brothers and sisters, or maybe just brothers, one or the other, but I think it was just brothers, hired some brothers to go, and they sent them to school, paid for their education, sent them to school. They don't do this anymore, but they sent them to school to learn how to be a lawyer. Now, maybe everything that they studied wasn't great, but a lot of it was because it allowed them to defend Jehovah's sheep in an organization. So it's okay to learn things in the world if you can apply it and it doesn't take you off the path of serving Jehovah. So, purpose of this video, there's always somebody that you can model. There is somebody who has the life that you already want. And maybe it's 10 different people for the 10 most important things. Study, if you want a better body, study the person who teaches you how to have a better body. Follow their clues, follow their footsteps. More finances, follow that person. Closer to God, follow that person. You may have to study 10, 20, 15 different people, but study them, follow their footsteps, because success does leave clues. And if you follow their footsteps, put yourself in that environment, change your current environment, upgrade your environment, you will achieve the success in life that you want to live. So get clear on what you want, and of course, please write below, hey, are you committed to doing this? And what kind of life are you willing to live? What is most important to you in your life? All right, family, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already done so,
subscribe and share.
Share.
I'm just gonna say double S.
Yes.
Double S.
Double S. I know, but no one's gonna know.
Well,
besides us.
but the same people that see it, they know.
Maybe they know. Double S. Boom.
Double S.
But when they already subscribed, they just have to share, so it's just once. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Either one. All right, family. We love you guys. Talk to you soon.
Love you guys. Bye.